Hey Kara, so I pulled some cards for you, and I know right now you're probably feeling like everything is just going to shit. Like you're probably feeling hopeless, you're probably feeling sad, you probably don't see the lightness after the dark. I get all of those emotions and energy. However, Spirit actually has a very good message for you. Like they're saying this storm is going to end soon. So I feel like at this point, maybe you're in a toxic environment. Maybe you're around people that are unsupportive. Maybe it's people that are constantly dishing their shit out on you. And I feel like you have like this sense of loyalty. And it's like you kind of feel like you need to be there. You need to do this. You need to do that. Even though deep down inside, it's not what's best for you. I have a feeling like you're putting your own needs on the back burner to support other people. But other people are not returning that favor. And so now you kind of feel like you're unappreciated. You feel like you've been taken advantage of. And then you also kind of feel like you're stuck and lost. Like you don't know what to necessarily do because like all of your energy is being poured out into everybody else, but you're not taking the time to pour into yourself. So Spirit actually has a lot of messages for you, and it looks really, really good. So the first card that we pulled for you was the Page of Pentacles. So as you know, this is the manifestation card, right? So this is the card where you really want to start to focus on what you're focusing your attention on, because you are going to be manifesting. So start to look and pay attention to what you're actually giving your attention to. And if it's not actually something that you want to continue to bring more of into your life, now is the time to really sit down and think, do you need to release this or not? The second card that we got for you was the Ten of Cups. So as you can see, it's a man and a woman with two kids off playing. Then there's this beautiful rainbow in its cups. So this is all about community, family, deeper relationships. It might be in terms of love, but it could go just in terms of family and feeling like accepted, feeling whole, feeling complete. Okay. Then we have the Nine of Cups. And yes, this is another card that represents abundance. As you can see, she's dancing, she's rejoicing, right? She's actually in flow, she's in the moment, and Spirit is blessing her. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups, followed by the Ace of Wands. So as you can see, she has she's full of these bright, creative, new ideas and inspiration, right? So she's actually in the zone. She's in her creative genius, and she's actually accepting these spiritual downloads with this new inspiration. And I feel like if you are in an environment where you have this inspiration and somebody is beating you up or beating you down, telling you you can't do it, now is actually time to start to reassess that feedback that you're receiving. Because right now we have the Page of Pentacles, manifestation. We have the Ten of Cups, wholeness, community, love. We have the Nine of Cups, actually welcoming in abundance. And then we have the Ace of Wands. We're talking about new creativity and new inspiration. So these are all things that are coming to you. But now it's time to take a look at your environment and see if your environment supports that. So I pulled some oracles for you as well. And the first oracle that came up for you was the Twin Flames. So now in terms of twin flames, right? This could be a relationship like a romantic relationship, but it could also be a friendship or even a business partner, right? So it could be anyone where you feel naturally connected to. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a romantic relationship, but it could just mean that you're meeting someone who actually shares the same values as you do. So it feels like this is going to be somebody that comes in to possibly help you break free of all of this and also get you to see your true potential, because it seems like you're playing it a little bit safe. You feel stuck. You feel like you can't do something. You're believing this lie that you can't do something or you're not worthy. And this person is probably going to come in and help you start to make your dreams become a reality. So as you can see, it's matching, but then you also have this powerful tiger that's in the center, and you can see the light is coming. So this is like letting you know that this connection is going to be very, very deep. It's going to be pretty much unbreakable. It's going to be a solid connection where you truly feel love, appreciated, and understood, and reaching your goals. We have the shamanic journey, right? So this is all about purpose, attunement, and your vision quest, right? So as you can see, she's on a horse and she's actually riding off into the night sky. She's on a mission. And so I have a feeling like you also might be a healer. You might be in the someone who likes to help other people. And maybe that's what's going on right now, is maybe you're actually overexerting yourself. Like you're helping every single body else, but when you need help, nobody's there for you. And so I feel like with this card is like it's reminding you to live in your purpose, to be authentic and be true to yourself. And so sometimes as healers, what we do is we have the tendency to ignore us. And as the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I feel like this is a reminder to actually start to pour into yourself as well. Okay. We also have the Grateful Optimism card, and it says joyous views to the future. So if you can see, she's looking to the right because she's looking to the future, but she also has this goal that's in her heart and it's also in her mind, right? So there are many blessings that are going on for her. And I feel like right now, sometimes what we have the tendency to do is we get caught up in all of the daily struggles that we have, that we don't pay attention to the blessings that we already have. So I feel like also this might be a reminder to take some time and just actually pay attention to the blessings that you have, to start to express more gratitude for what you already have. Sometimes we just think it's, oh my God, why me? Why me? Why me? Why is this always happening to me? And so sometimes we have to change the view to, why is this happening for me? What direction is this putting me on? What can I learn from this? And I feel like also this is saying to take some time out and just be grateful for the things that you already have, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in these little minor everyday problems that we don't realize all of the blessings that we have. Like for an example, you're probably watching this on a smartphone. In other parts of the world, they don't even have that. So sometimes we have to express gratitude for what we have, right? If you actually woke up today, express gratitude. If you have food on the table, express gratitude, right? Let's not get so caught up in the problems that we become addicted to the problem, and now our vision is just short-sighted because all we're seeing is this small little problem that's going to go away anyway. So instead, maybe purposely shifting your focus into actually showing how many blessings you actually have, even though I know right now it might be very, very difficult, but this is saying, remember that you have blessings and you have more blessings that are on the way. So instead of getting caught up in what's going on right now, is to be a little bit more optimistic about the future. Sometimes when we feel like things are just going wrong, sometimes we can unintentionally sabotage the blessings that we have coming to us. Like we might actually block them, not feeling worthy, not feeling deserving. We might start to second guess them because we're like, well, everything else is going wrong in my life. Well, why is this popping up? So take a little bit more time to actually purposely find some joy in what's going on and start to see if there's possible that you can even learn something from what you're going through right now. The next card we have is friendship. So at first I talked about the twin flames. So maybe it's a new friend that you're going to get. As you can see, it's about support, fun, unity, playing, actually being surrounded with like-minded people. So like I said before, I have a feeling like maybe you're in a toxic or unsupportive environment. So I feel like this is the sign for you to actually get around like-minded people, people who share the same goals as you, people who share the same beliefs as you, people where you can actually go out and you feel safe. You feel like you can actually express yourself without fear of judgment. You feel welcomed into this environment. So maybe that's finding another Facebook group with similar like-minded people. Maybe it's finding people on Instagram. Maybe it's finding people on LinkedIn. Maybe it's actually going out and joining a supportive group in the community, right? There's Meetup, there's Eventbrite. So maybe it's just about finding a group of people where you can actually comfortably express what's going on with you. And in that group, you might actually find somebody who's been on this journey before and they can help guide you. That's twin flame that I'm talking about. The next card that we have for you is abundance. So as you can see, she's like off in the forest and she's surrounded by all of these animals. She has like a fox in her hand. There's like a moose behind her. And she's just like in her zone. She's in her element. And this is saying like, yes, you're going to be welcoming in abundance. Remember, we have the Nine of Pentacles. We also have we have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Cups. So they're saying, yes, there's going to be an abundance. There's going to be an overflow of love and support. If if you think that you're not getting love and support now, guess what? When you actually start to take an assessment of what is no longer serving you, you're going to receive this abundance of love and support. It's coming to you. It is already yours. The next card that we have for you is the realization card. So as you can see, it's kind of like a lock, right? So there's the night sky, but then she's standing there and she's looking off into the future. And she sees these clouds and she's standing inside of the lock. And this is showing like you are the actual key, right? So sit down and honestly take a really self-honesty approach with this. What is truly no longer serving you? Sometimes we get so caught up in this sense of loyalty or devotion where we think that we can't let things go. And this is saying, no, this is the time where you want to actually be focused on what really is. Come to that realization of who you are, what no longer serves you, what is actually causing you to feel this negative energy, right? And sometimes this might just be the realization of who you are as a person. Sometimes we are afraid to accept who we are because we have this negative energy around us that doesn't support that. So it's like, no, now is the time where you really pay attention to what's going on with you, and then also what's going on with your environment, and then realizing when it's time to cut cords, because you hold the key to this lock and your future is actually looking pretty bright. The next card that we have is balance. So as you can see, she's standing there and she has like the moon in her hand, and she also has like I forgot what it'd be like in high school, but like they have like a balancing beam almost, where you see she has like the moons and the half moons and things like that, right? And she's just standing there and she's trying to balance it. And I feel like this card for you is maybe you're feeling like you can't balance things that's going on in your life right now. Like maybe it just seems like it's one thing after the next and you're feeling like a sense of balance. And so I feel like for this card, it's telling you to ground yourself, right? So to find balance within yourself. So if you're not, take some time to pour into yourself. Maybe this is going to be meditation. Maybe this is going to be journaling where you can actually express yourself in the moment. Maybe this is going to be finding that support group for you. But to find balance within yourself, if you have a million thoughts that's running through your mind, it's like now is the time to kind of like silence those thoughts. So this way you can really get back connected with yourself. I feel like you're being pulled in a lot of different directions. You don't know which way to go, but you're also feeling discouraged and like you're being beat down. And so this is like, no, take a moment to actually find balance. See what no longer serves you. See what does serve you. And then this way you can start to release those things that don't and start to focus your attention more on things that do serve you. The next card that we have is the protection card. So if you look, right, you can see there's a woman and she's in a nest and she's being carried, right? I have a feeling like maybe what you're really looking for is you want protection. You want to feel safe. You want to feel loved. You want to feel accepted, right? And I feel like right now, you're going to get all of that, but also I feel like sometimes because we want these things, we hold on to things that do the exact opposite. Like sometimes we hold on to a relationship just because that person is there and we're afraid of being alone, and we think that ultimately at one point in life they're just going to protect us when they never ever do, because they never ever have. And so I have a feeling like this is also saying like sometimes you have to be the one to protect yourself. Sometimes we put a lot of our trust in other people, and I feel like this is coming up to remind you that you should also be protecting yourself. So if you are just hoping that somebody's going to come in and magically save the day, guess what? That person is you. That person is actually you. So if you're putting this pressure on somebody else to do that, that might be the reason why you're feeling like beat down, right? Because they're not going to be the person to protect you, unfortunately, but you are the person that can protect you. And I feel like also when you start to surround yourself with like-minded people, when you start to focus on like this community and this friendship that we're talking about, when we start to get all of that, I feel like they're going to be showing you how you can protect yourself, right? So I feel like right now at this moment, it's telling you to protect your energy, Protect your energy. Realize what does not serve you anymore, and it's time to actually break free of that. And so also making sure that you understand that you have the power of protection. The next card that I got for you is devotion. So as you can see, it's about, there's a ballet going on, right? And she's off, she's, in the pose, and he's holding her so gracefully, right? And I feel like, as you can see, he's holding her like she's gentle, like she might break. And I feel like in some point, you might be devoting your energy to something that probably does not actually need it. So start to look and see, what are you holding on to? What are you holding on to that really does not actually need you to hold on to it anymore? What no longer needs your support? And it's funny because the next card that we had was release. So as you can see, there is a hand holding out, and there's a bird there, and the sky is pretty much open. It's not enclosed, but it's just staring at you, right? It's staring at you, and it's like holding on. As you can see, it's holding on to the thumb. And so I feel like in some way, this is saying, learn how to release. So we have the devotion card, but then we also have the release card. So what is it that you need to release? What is holding you back? Is it fear? Is it fear of being alone? Is it fear of taking on something new? Is it fear of being rejected? Like you feel like if you put yourself out there, no one's going to accept you? Is it the fear that what you feel in your heart in terms of your life purpose? Do you fear because you've never seen it in like your family or something like that, that is something that you can't do? Or have you felt like you have actually tried to put yourself out there in terms of like a career or something like that, and people around you were unsupportive? Like, so start to look and see, what is it that kind of has you feeling like beat down, and now it's the time to release it, and to release it, and also release the things that you are holding on to out of this sense of loyalty or devotion. The next card that I have for you, storms. So as you can see, and I love this card because she is like a force to be reckoned with, right? She's standing in the midst of the storm. And I feel like this is where you are right now, right? Like there's a storm. The skies are dark, it's lightning, right? But sometimes what I feel like too is, in order to weather the storm, you have to become the storm. Sometimes we forget how much power we have, and we start to feel helpless. We start to feel like a victim. And I feel like this card is coming back, and it's reminding you, like, no, you have the strength to put your foot down. You have the strength to cut cords that no longer serve you. And then, of course, after the storm, guess what happens? Shine. The sun usually comes out again. You might see some rainbows. So I feel like this card also is telling you now is a storm, but it's also an indication that there is going to be a brighter day that's coming. And every single thing that we've seen so far, the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, there is a brighter time coming for you. So sometimes it's just about becoming the storm so you can get through it. You might be feeling like you're stuck, and guess what? You're only as stuck as you want to be. So don't allow certain fears or certain beliefs to keep you held in the certain situation that you're currently in. The next card that we have for you here is Cosmic Power. So as you can see, she's like dark and gray, and he's like gold, but together they come as one. And this is both the masculine and the feminine energy here. And I feel like this card is coming up to remind you of your power. So sometimes we, as women, we rely on our feminine energy, where we're more so focused on our intuition and we're focused on receiving, right? But sometimes we need to have that masculine energy as well. And with that masculine energy, it exudes confidence. It actually exudes the ability to take action and to actually do something, right? Sometimes you have to receive, but sometimes you also have to put out that energy. So I feel like this card is coming up to remind you of just how powerful you truly are. Like if you keep telling yourself you can't do something, if you're holding on to it. I remember I was speaking to a nurse who was afraid to make a career switch, right? And she's like, oh, I can't leave the people at my job because they need me, they need me, they need me. But she was going off to go help somebody else. She was actually going to help more people. She was going from one small rehab center to an actual hospital where she would be helping more people. And so I feel like this card is reminding too, like sometimes you have to be reminded of the greater purpose, right? Sometimes we have a fear of the unknown. We have a fear of taking the next step, not realizing that next step will actually help us fulfill that purpose that we have set out to do. So I feel like this card is showing up as your masculine and your feminine energy, because maybe you need to be reminded that you have both, and with both you can go out to manifest anything you want. You don't always have to be stuck in this receiving moment where you feel like you're just waiting on things to kind of fall into your lap. Now is the time to take action. And it brings me to the last card. So we have miracles. As you can see, she's sitting. She's a queen on her throne, and she's sitting there. She's powerful, right? She has like like this, I want to say like jewelry or like rewards, or like, you know, she has pretty much everything that she needs though. She's in this area where it's serene. She's by herself. It's beautiful. It's colorful. It represents life, right? Then you have this gold, chair, and then also you have the water flowing, right? So she's welcoming in and she's receiving miracles. Okay, so from the 3 cards I just showed, we have the storm, right? We have cosmic power. So we got storm, cosmic power, and miracles. And so what I feel like this is saying is, yes, weather this storm, become part of this storm so you can get through it. Remind yourself of the power that you have, and then be willing to receive and accept the miracles that are coming your way. Okay, so what that means for me is take a quick assessment of the environment. If the environment that you have is not supportive, right? Now is the time to do an assessment. If it's not supportive, try to, and if you have to be in this environment, sometimes I know it's not easy to cut people off, right? But if you have to be in this environment, maybe you want to seek balance. Seek how long do you choose to put yourself around these people, right? Try to balance your energy, right? If you have to cut them off, maybe not spend as much time with them, then do that, right? Also seeking internal balance within yourself, grounding yourself. If you're feeling like nervous or anxious or something like that, actually take a moment to ground yourself, because you are this beautiful manifesting creature, and there's going to be a lot of things that are coming to you relatively soon. So it's saying take some time, because once you start to ground yourself, once you come to the realization of who you truly are and what no longer serves you in your environment, and you start to make these adjustments, right, you are going to be manifesting. You're going to have that inspiration. If you're feeling stuck and like you don't know what to do, guess what? New ideas are going to be coming to you. New ideas, new opportunities, and new beginnings. But it's once you actually sit down and you make a really true and honest assessment of what is going on with you. And I know sometimes that is completely scary, right? Like sometimes we become attached to our problems. Sometimes we become attached to our environment. And then of course, when we say we're going to do something new, sometimes the fear sinks in, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of risk, right? Sometimes we have some limiting beliefs that tell us that we can't do something. So I know it's going to be incredibly scary, but you have so much that is working for you. Like I said, you have the abundance card, right? You have the 9 of Pentacles, right? But then you also have the 10 of Pentacles that represents this community. So if you're feeling like you don't have a sense of community, like you do not have this supportive environment, this is telling you you have that. It's in the making. So maybe that balance could be limiting your exposure to the toxic environment that you're in, and now start to reach out and purposely surround yourself with like-minded people. And then also making sure that you protect your energy. I feel like too, as women, we have this natural ability to nurture others. And sometimes what we do is we pour so much into others that we forget that we also need pouring into. And so I feel like this card is reminding you to take some time to protect your energy. If you have somebody that's toxic right now around you, that's telling you that you can't, now is the time to actually protect your energy and make sure that you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I hope that helps.